Come on. The General Affair Department's head student, senior apprentice brother Lin, and that genius Earth rank student who's recently in the limelight, Yi Yuan, started fighting. There's going to be a great show to watch. Yi Yuan? Isn't he only at the 4th level Essence Chi realm? Senior apprentice brother Lin was already at the half-step spirit condensation realm a long time ago. How could Yi Yuan possibly be his match? Are you stupid? Didn't Yi Yuan enter a closed-door seclusion a few days ago? He exited seclusion and is already at the 6th level Essence Chi realm. What? Closed seclusion for a few days and 6th level Essence Chi realm? That fellow is seriously a freak. But even if he's at the 6th level Essence Chi realm, he couldn't possibly be senior apprentice brother Lin's match, right? Who knows? I also just heard from other people there seems to be some great enmity between the two of them, which provoked Yi Yuan so much so that he wants to kill senior apprentice brother Lin even knowing the academy's rule. There's such a thing? Cool, meh. Let's quickly go look. The news of Yi Yuan and Lin Tianqing's deathmatch quickly spread throughout the entire Danwu Academy. 2 students debated over it for a while in a corner of the academy, and then they rushed over to watch the show, but their discussion reached another person's ear. Wan Yuan just happened to be nearby, and when he heard these two people's conversation, a hint of a cold smile flashed across his face. He did not think that Lin Tianqing was so daring to actually directly provoke Yi Yuan to violate the academy's rules. Now, no matter whether it was Yi Yuan who killed Lin Tianqing or Lin Tianqing who killed Yi Yuan, he could sit there and enjoy the fisherman's gains. Previously, he let Lu Ruoxue goaded Lin Tianqing on, and that fellow really fell for it. Lin Tianqing was narrow-minded just by sowing discord slightly. He became jealous and hated Yi Yuan. Wan Yuan was still having a headache these 2 days as Yi Yuan's improvement became increasingly faster. Not only was he reaching Wan Yuan on the martial path, he completely crushed him on the alchemy path. Who would have thought that Lin Tianqing directly provoked Yi Yuan? After listening to the two people's conversation, Wan Yuan was excited but was also shocked. Yi Yuan went into seclusion and was at the 6th level Essence Chi realm after coming out. He could pass through the black rank advancement test at the 4th level Essence Chi realm. Didn't that mean that Yi Yuan could already completely crush him with his current strength? Just a month plus. A month plus, and Yi Yuan and his position had totally flipped over. A month ago, he could easily crush Yi Yuan. A month later, Yi Yuan was already in existence that he looked up to preposterous. Just what the hell happened? Wan Yuan was so aggrieved. Nothing made someone sadder than being stepped underfoot by somebody they looked down upon. Bringing along this grievance, Wan Yuan also headed over. He really wanted to watch the sight of Yi Yuan being killed by Lin Tianqing or Yi Yuan killing Lin Tianqing, and then being sentenced to death by the academy. Lin Tianqing's 7-star steps was already trained to the small success stage. It was just a little bit faster than Yi Yuan's instant flash. Currently, Yi Yuan was already forced into a perilous situation by him. If he were careless and got hit, then there would probably be no chance for victory. The Thunder's Fist belonged to the Lightning Attribute Martial Techniques category. It similarly leaned towards attack power and even had a numbing effect. The moment he got hit, Yi Yuan would basically no longer have the strength to retaliate. In terms of speed, Yi Yuan could not shake off Lin Tianqing. In terms of attack, Yi Yuan had already lost the initiative. Now, he was currently in an extremely defensive situation. Haha. Run. Keep running. I love this sort of cat-catching mice game the most. Overconfident punk. I thought you were very powerful, so you only have this bit of ability? Lin Tianqing laughed wildly as he chased Yi Yuan. Lin Tianqing seemed like he had the strength to spare. Yi Yuan appeared once more, and Lin Tianqing appeared beside him at almost the same instant. The thunderous fist directly struck Yi Yuan's chest. However, this time around, Yi Yuan unexpectedly did not run away. He raised his right hand like lightning, and essence energy in his palm spread out, stacking waves. Layered palm. For layer wave, boom. One fist clashed with one palm, and the two people clashed and flew backward. Lin Tianqing's body only flew backward almost 7 meters, but Yi Yuan flew for 10 meters. Very clearly, Yi Yuan had the lower hand in this clash. Lin Tianqing stabilized his body and laughed coldly as he said, "So, you actually mastered the stacking waves layered palm. For layer wave, no wonder you dare to be so arrogant. However, this stacking waves layered palm can only deal with essence chi realms. To handle me, you have a long way to go. Right now, do you feel like your hands are going numb, and your essence energy isn't circulating properly?" Ha ha ha. As he spoke, Lin Tianqing laughed wildly without stopping. Just now, Yi Yuan was still talking rampantly about the heart of a powerhouse, but now, he was suppressed by him. This made him very gleeful. Lin Tianqing admitted that Yi Yuan was a genius, but so what if he was a genius? Did he not still lose to him? This feeling of crushing geniuses was simply satisfying. Yi Yuan's right hand became a little numb, and the circulation of essence energy also became somewhat stagnant. This thunderous fist indeed had a well-deserved reputation. It was actually on par with the four-layer wave, of course. Lin Tiancheng still had to give credit to his cultivation realm. To be able to rely on the thunderous fist to draw with Yi Yuan half-step spirit condensation realm was no joke. It was almost a major cultivation realm higher than Yi Yuan. In the past, it had always been Yi Yuan who used speed to crush his opponent. He did not expect that he would be completely suppressed by Lin Tiancheng in terms of speed today. Without the advantage in speed, he had no way of attacking with his full power. Lin Tiancheng would not give him the chance to strike. The situation was very unfavorable. Yi Yuan secretly revolved his essence energy to purge the lightning attribute essence energy entwined in his palm in order to relieve his numbed state. How could Lin Tiancheng give him this opportunity? Trying to relieve the numbness? Are you treating me as a 3-year-old kid? Die! Right at this moment, Lin Tiancheng moved again. The 7-star steps was executed, and he crossed the several meters distance, arriving in front of Yi Yuan. Boom! Another exchange, and the two people separated once more. This time around, Lin Tiancheng only retreated around 6 meters, while Yi Yuan backed over a dozen meters. It was apparent that after being affected by the numbness in his right hand, Yi Yuan's disadvantage grew even greater. Lin Tiancheng did not plan on giving Yi Yuan the chance to catch his breath after adjusting his breathing. His thunderous fist struck out once more. Just like that, one heavy punch after another, Lin Tiancheng's advantage grew even greater. Yi Yuan's improvement is quick, but he overestimated himself. I also know that Lin Tiancheng, he is, after all, a half-step spirit condensation realm and known as the strongest student in the earth rank. Yi Yuan wants to challenge him at only 6th level essence chi realm. Isn't this just asking for it? In a pavilion, Zhuobuguwei was complaining. Standing by his side was Long Tang. He was naturally also alerted to such a major event. I think Yi Yuan isn't such a reckless person. He might have some cards to play. Long Tang frowned as he watched the battle far away. However, Zhuobuguwei did not agree, and he said, what other cards could he have left? I admit that he's truly a top genius that only appears once every 50 years. He even surpasses you and me, and he actually mastered the 4-layer wave, but even his 4-layer wave can't handle Lin Tiancheng. What other moves could he have left? Such a pity. Too bad. Long Tang's brows furrowed even tighter. His view was the same as Zhuobuguwei. He really could not tell what other resort Yi Yuan possibly had, regardless whether it was speed or attack. He was completely suppressed. A defeat was set. However, he did not know why, but he just felt that Yi Yuan had other cards he had not yet shown. Is that so? Really? You also have the same feeling as me? This Yi Yuan is truly a genius, but he's too short-tempered and impatient. I reckon this has to do with his sudden rise. Zhuobuguwei's words poured on unceasingly, but Long Tang seemed to pay no heed. The two of them seemed to have formed a tacit agreement. Every time they met, they would chat in such a manner. Perhaps what you said is right, but looking at last time when he underwent the death match with Fei Qingping, this Yi Yuan is somebody who plans first and then takes action. He definitely wouldn't rush to his death so carelessly. Long Tang was still very insistent. I say, why are you so stubborn? Why don't we bet on it? I've been salivating over your spirit essence pill for a long time. Zhuobuguwei still behaved sloppily. A bet? Long Tang looked at Zhuobuguwei with probing eyes. That's right. A bet. Don't you think that Yi Yuan has some trump card that could save the situation? We'll bet on their victory and defeat. How's that? Zhuobuguwei met Long Tang's eyes openly without hiding his desire for the spirit essence pill in the slightest. Spirit essence pill was a tier 2 medicinal pill that the Danwu Academy awarded to Long Tang. It could increase the success rate when a spirit condensation realm martial artist was impacting a minor realm's bottleneck by 70%. To the Danwu Academy's geniuses, this sort of medicinal pill was undoubtedly a miracle pill for breaking through realms. Geniuses like Long Tang and Zhuobuguwei already had a much higher chance of breaking through bottlenecks when compared to other people. With the help of the spirit essence pill, breaking through cultivation realms was virtually settled. Even for a major bottleneck from the 3rd level spirit condensation realm to the 4th level, the spirit essence pill also had a 40% effect. One could see just how powerful this medicinal pill was. However, the spirit essence pill was extremely rare. Even in a place like the Danwu Academy, it was seldom awarded to students. It was because Long Tang became rank 1 on the martial roll of honor that the Academy awarded a spirit essence pill. He could never bear to use it, and did not think that Zhuobuguwei had been eyeing this for a long time. Long Tang looked at Zhuobuguwei and suddenly smiled. Fine, I'll bet with you. But what do you intend to use as a bet? Long Tang used the spirit essence pill as the bet. So Zwabugue naturally also had to take out something of equivalent value to bet. Zwabugue was a little surprised by how quickly Long Tang agreed. He even thought that Long Tang would not have agreed. So he purposely used words to spur him on. He did not expect him to really agree. Haha, since you are so straightforward. I also can't be too stingy. During the previous endless trials, I was fortunate enough to obtain a peak tier 2 sharp horned beast's inner core. How's that for a bet? Zwabugue laughed loudly, giving the feeling like his scheme had worked. Hearing this, Long Tang's face changed color. I didn't think that you had something so good. A peak tier 2 sharp-horned beast's inner core is naturally enough. A peak tier 2 sharp-horned beast was equivalent to a peak spirit condensation realm human martial artist, but its combat power was much greater than a human martial artist of the same realm. It was very difficult to hunt and kill this demonic beast. If one was not a crystal formation realm martial artist, sharp-horned beast inner core could be used to refine tier 2 and above medicinal pill. So it was obviously worth a fortune. Zwabugue smirked and had a proud look as he said, I didn't think you, Long Tang, would be clever all your life, but stupid this once. Your spirit essence pill will soon be mine. Ha ha ha. Just look at Yi Yuan. He probably can't even lift his right arm now. Am I right? What does he have? Zwabugue was talking halfway before abruptly stopping. It was because right at this moment, an unexpected change occurred between Lin Tiancheng and Yi Yuan's fight. Lin Tiancheng clashed with Yi Yuan 7, 8 times consecutively. He had absolute upper hand. While Yi Yuan's right hand was almost crippled already, Lin Tiancheng gave a cruel smile and unleashed another thunderous fist, but meanwhile, Yi Yuan could not even lift up his arm. Lin Tiancheng seemed to have seen the scene of a rising genius becoming a cripple under his fist. Yi Yuan appeared to have no moves left, and under the situation where his right arm could no longer move, he lifted his left arm. Yi Yuan's left palm struck out and clashed once more with Lin Tiancheng's thunderous fist. Everyone thought that Yi Yuan was definitely dead this time, but under their astonished eyes, Lin Tiancheng's body flew backward for several dozen meters. Pooh! Lin Tiancheng directly spat out a large mouthful of blood in midair, staining his clothes red. 8-layer wave. Just now was that 8-layer wave. How is this possible? He only used a month's time to comprehend the 8-layer wave. Is he still human? This fellow completely doesn't belong in the scope of humans. Simply monstrous. Even if senior apprentice Brother Long were standing in front of him, he would be ashamed of his inferiority. Yuan's 8-layer wave caused an uproar among the surrounding onlookers. Everyone was talking about its stacking waves. Layered palm. 8-layer wave, that martial technique virtually impossible to comprehend, was grasped by Yi Yuan in a month. Who knew what they would think if they knew that Yi Yuan had already comprehended the 8-layer wave back when he killed Fei Qingping? It was not that Yi Yuan wanted to be beaten up, but rather, Lin Tiancheng was really too strong. If Yi Yuan had displayed the 8-layer wave from the start, Lin Tiancheng definitely would not clash with him. The moment Lin Tiancheng was on guard against it, Yi Yuan would not cause much threat to Lin Tiancheng. Even if he used the 8-layer wave in the end, Yi Yuan's cultivation realm was too low. 16 times the unleashed power of a 6th-level essence chi realm was indeed enough to kill a 1st-level spirit condensation realm martial artist, but Lin Tiancheng was not yet a dead person. Being hailed as the strongest in the Earth ranking, Lin Tiancheng was not some scrub like Zhang. How could someone hail as the strongest in the Earth ranking within the Danwu Academy where geniuses were like clouds be a good for nothing? Yi Yuan already noticed this when he matched up with Lin Tiancheng, hence, he had been appearing to be weak so that Lin Tiancheng would lower his guard. Yi Yuan's yin-yang separation flow technique was at the acme of perfection, so the difference between left hand and right hand was not much of an issue to him. The power was not inferior to his right hand when he executed the stacking waves layered palm with his left hand. Yi Yuan had mustered up practically all the essence energy in his body for this blow. Lin Tiancheng was caught unprepared and was severely injured by Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan could finish off a 1st-level spirit condensation realm martial artist in the illusionary spirit tower when he was at the 4th-level essence chi realm. Now that he was already at the 6th-level essence chi realm, one could imagine just how much power was in this palm. Lin Tiancheng was smacked flying backward for several dozen meters before landing heavily on the ground. There was no movement as he lay unconscious. The surroundings were completely silent. Everybody looked at Yi Yuan like they saw a monster in the pavilion. Long Tang had a rare bout of a hearty laugh. What an 8-layer wave. An excellent tactic of appearing to be weak. Regardless whether it's scheming or strength, Yi Yuan ranks at the top. Such a terrifying opponent. I'm looking forward to you growing up quickly to fight me someday. Zwabugue opened his mouth and closed it again. Even until now, He dared not believe the scene before him. The contrast of before and after was too large. This was known as the most difficult Tier 1 martial technique in the Dan Wu Academy, the stacking waves layered palm. How could Yi Yuan, that fellow, possibly comprehends the 8-layer wave so quickly? Haha. Looks like you have no chance of getting my spirit essence pill. Long Tang looked at Zhuobuguwei with a smirk. Yi Yuan did not relax. He knew that this palm was insufficient to kill Lin Tianqing. He was going to follow up another palm. Arriving in front of Lin Tianqing with an instant flash, another palm struck out. Boom. A large cavity was blasted out in the ground. It missed Lin Tianqing. Several meters away, Lin Tianqing glared at Yi Yuan with venomous eyes. He howled angrily. Yi Yuan, you forced me. Yi Yuan, you forced me. Lin Tianqing looked at Yi Yuan venomously. Lin Tianqing's aura suddenly grew stronger, and the surrounding essence energy poured madly towards Lin Tianqing. When Yi Yuan saw this, his face became very grave. Look, quickly. Senior apprentice brother Lin, he's breaking through. He wants to break through to the spirit condensation realm. Senior apprentice brother Lin could have broken through to the spirit condensation realm long ago. He only suppressed his strength at half-step spirit condensation realm for the Earth rank advancement test. Alas, senior apprentice brother Lin is also forced to his wit's end by Yi Yuan. Who would have thought that he could master the 8-layer wave? That's 32 times the power. That's right, Yi Yuan's too strong. He's only at the 6th level essence chi realm, and he could actually force the half-step spirit condensation realm. Senior apprentice brother Lin to S. Yucca state. But it's over. Senior apprentice brother Lin's breaking through to the spirit condensation realm, and Yi Yuan's trump cards are all used up. There's no more chance of victory. The crowd was clearly pessimistic about Yi Yuan when Lin Tianqing was at the half-step spirit condensation realm. Yi Yuan was already straining now that he was breaking through to the spirit condensation realm. What could Yi Yuan use to fight with him? Over 300 meters away, in the pavilion, Zhuobuguwei patted his chest with a frightened look. Oh my God, scared this little master to death. Tried to steal the chicken, but nearly ended up losing the rice. I almost ended up losing the sharp-horned beast's inner core, which I had a hard time getting. I say, old Long, now can you hand over your spirit essence pill? Long Tang looked on and also sighed secretly. No matter how Yi Yuan calculated, he probably did not expect Lin Tianqing breaking through at the last moment. He could only wait now. Even though he did not want to admit it in his heart, he knew that Yi Yuan's chances of victory were not high. But what he thought was one thing, what he actually said was another. What are you anxious about? It isn't over yet. You really won't give up until all hope is gone. It's already like this. Yi Yuan doesn't even have 10% chance of victory. What are you still stubbornly holding on for? You already said that he has less than 10% chance of succeeding. As long as the chance isn't zero, then there's hope. Although he was stubborn, Long Tang was somebody like this. It was impossible for him to give up until it was truly hopeless. Zhuobuguwei was dumbfounded and could only say, fine, let's just wait and see. After they finish fighting, won't you still obediently hand over the spirit essence pill? In another pavilion, a youth and a middle-aged man stood with their hands behind their back. Second uncle, what do you think? The youth opened his mouth and asked the middle-aged man, if this child's not eliminated, he will definitely be a calamity to the Su family. I think so too. I also don't know what happened to him. This month's improvement was simply too terrifying. Regardless of what happened, this child absolutely can't be spared. Just Yi Hang alone is already very troublesome to deal with. If his son were allowed to grow up, the Su family would likely have to exit the medicinal herbs market in the future. The youth was in full agreement. He nodded and asked, second uncle, over at the disciplinary hall, don't worry, I've informed the people downstairs long ago to treat this matter as if it didn't exist. We will let Yi Yuan and Lin Tianqing fight first no matter the result. Yi Yuan's definitely dead. Hearing that, the youth let out a sigh of relief. That bunch of old fellows can really remain patient. Second uncle, you didn't make a move, and none of them showed themselves. Looks like they have the same intention as us. Sitting on top of the mountain to watch the tigers fight, the middle-aged man laughed coldly. Watching the tigers fight? Haha, just two little cats. That's all among these two people. The youth was precisely the Su family's new generation's talent, Su Yishan, while the middle-aged man was Su Yishan's second uncle, Su Yubai, and he was also the Dan Wu Academy's disciplinary hall's elder. By right, they had received the news long ago. Stopping this fight in time was easy for them. However, no instructor had shown up until now. It was as if everyone had reached a silent agreement to let Lin Tianqing and Yi Yuan finish fighting. Yi Yuan looked at Lin Tianqing coldly without any intention of interrupting. Instead, he quietly took out a transcendent-grade qi returning pill and swallowed it. When he returned to the fragrant medicine pavilion a few days ago, Yi Yuan had refined more medicinal pills with his strength, It was basically effortless to refine Tier 1 medicinal pills. After consuming a transcendent-grade Tier 1 Qi returning pill, Yi Yuan's essence energy instantly recovered to its peak state. This sort of treatment was not something that the average person could enjoy. What did Yi Yuan eat? His essence energy actually recovered in an instant. What rubbish, it's definitely the Qi returning pill. But can the Qi returning pill recover so much essence energy? This may be the grade is higher. How high of a grade is needed to let essence energy recover fully? The superior grade? Transcendent grade? Yi Yuan's action of swallowing the medicinal pill attracted the surrounding onlookers' attentions. Wabugue seemed to have discovered something and said in surprise, "Old Long, look at Yi Yuan's chest." Through the nourishment of essence energy, a martial artist's body would surpass that of the average person. A distance of several hundred meters was not considered far to spirit condensation realm martial artists initially. Everyone did not notice that Yi Yuan's chest had something extra, but his act of swallowing the medicinal pill drew people's attention to the badge adorned on his chest. Long Tang naturally also caught sight of that badge and involuntarily drew a cold breath. SSS, it's actually a low-rank alchemy master badge. Long Tang, who had always remained calm, became incessantly astonished. And no way. He's only at the 6th level essence Qi realm. Is that badge fake? Zwabugue's thoughts were identical with many others. They thought that the badge was fake. How's that possible? Who would dare forge a badge issued by the Alchemist Association? That would make one the public enemy of all alchemists. They would absolutely die without a burial place. But how could he possibly refine Tier 2 medicinal pills with his 6th level essence Qi realm soul strength? I remembered several days ago, the Academy organized a group test. Yi Yuan seemed to have joined. He seemed to have entered a closed-door seclusion after returning from the Alchemist Association. That's to say, when he became a low-rank alchemy master, he was still only at the 4th level essence Qi realm. Long Tang also jumped in fright at his analysis. If that was indeed the case, then Yi Yuan was seriously too monstrous. This discovery caused a huge uproar among the students, and everybody started debating. Of course, the general consensus was that it was fake, using a fake alchemist association badge. This matter was much more serious than killing someone in the academy. Su Yishan's face became solemn. Second uncle, what's with the badge? Did he really pass the alchemy master test? Si Yubai's face also did not look too good, but he nodded and said, "If Yi Yuan isn't a fool, then that badge should be real. But this punk can't be spared even more. A 6th level essence Qi realm low-rank alchemy master, it isn't that easy if second uncle wants to kill him, right? Humph, a dead genius is no longer a genius. Could those old fogies oppose my Su family because I killed a punk who violated the academy's rules?" Su Yubai smiled coldly. Second uncle's intentions are. Su Yubai swiped his throat and said icily, "Wait until they finish fighting. I will directly go there and finish off Yi Yuan." Zhang Yunhe did not publicize the matter of Yi Yuan advancing to low-rank alchemy master. Hence, only Feng Ruoqing and those students forced to swear the Heavenly Tao Oath knew that he obtained the alchemy master badge within the academy initially. This badge was not indispensable to Yi Yuan, but this was something that Lu used her life to protect. So it naturally became extraordinary to Yi Yuan. After Yi Yuan handed Luer over to Feng Ruoqing, he put on the badge seriously in earnest. He had no intention of showing off, but it was currently causing a huge commotion. Yi Yuan and Lin Tianqing faced each other from a distance. After adjusting for a short while, they recovered to their optimal condition. He did not interrupt Lin Tianqing's breakthrough, because it was useless. Lin Tianqing had long comprehended the spirit condensation realm and could have crossed this threshold at any time. He had only been suppressing his cultivation realm all along, and did not complete the step of compressing essence energy into a liquid state, even if Yi Yuan launched a surprise attack on Lin Tianqing right now. He also could not stop his breakthrough, so he might as well make use of the time to adjust his condition. Following the dissipation of the essence energy storm, Lin Tianqing's aura suddenly soared, and essence energy spread out wildly. Ha ha ha. This is the spirit condensation realm. Yi Yuan, you asked for this. Now, let's see how you'll kill me. After breaking through, Lin Tianqing felt his body bursting with power, as if a floodgate had opened up at this moment. He even felt like he was invincible. Breaking through a major realm was an extremely extraordinary thing, no matter who it was. However, Lin Tianqing failed to see any sort of panic on Yi Yuan's face, which made him somewhat disappointed. This is what you relied on upon. Do you feel that, after breaking through to the spirit condensation realm, you got me? Yuan said nonchalantly. Humph. So what if that's the case? What do you have to fight me now that we are separated by a major realm? You'll definitely die today. Lin Tianqing smiled icily immature. Yi Yuan spat out this word coolly. What did you say? Lin Tianqing erupted I assent. It just breaking through cultivation realm? I will break through for you to see. Listening to what Yi Yuan said, it was like breaking through realms was as simple as eating and sleeping. Lin Tianqing roared with laughter. You've just broken through to the 6th level essence chi realm and haven't even consolidated your cultivation realm, yet you still want to break through cultivation realms? Fine, I will see just how you break through cultivation realms. Then watch closely. After saying that, Yi Yuan retrieved a medicinal pill and swallowed it. It was precisely the 5-element spirit link pill. Seeing this, Lin Tianqing's face changed, and he suddenly had a bad premonition. Initially, he thought nothing of it, but seeing that Yi Yuan actually wanted to use a medicinal pill to break through cultivation realms, he could not help but regret his words earlier, although Lin Tianqing did not think that there was any medicinal pill that could directly break through realms. He still reacted right away. This was a deathmatch. Lin Tianqing could not be bothered with going back on his words and whatnot. 7-star steps activated in full force as his fist with lightning flashes around it smashed towards Yi Yuan. His actions drew a wave of jeering. Clearly, it was met with everyone's disdain. Just now, he was still talking about wanting to see him break through, but now, he smacked his own mouth and sneak attacked him, simply shameless to the extreme. Senior apprentice brother Lin is at the very least a spirit condensation realm martial artist. How could he be so shameless? Sigh, if a person is shameless, they would be invincible. What to do if their skin is thick? Don't talk crap, this is a deathmatch. If Yi Yuan was just bluffing, then it's all good. If he can really break through cultivation realms and reach the 7th level essence chi realm, that would be advancing another minor stage. The threat would increase greatly. If he unleashes the 8-layer wave, then, just how horrifying would the power be? You're right, but I still feel that this is too shameless. A living person needs a face like a living tree needs bark. If you can't do it, then don't talk so much. There are so many people looking. I've never heard of any medicinal pill that could directly raise cultivation realms. Don't know if Yi Yuan is putting on a false show of strength. If he's really putting up a bold front, then it's really going to be serious. This time something's not right. Senior apprentice brother Lin's martial technique doesn't seem to be the thunderous fist anymore. SSS, it's true. That's the upgraded version of the thunderous fist, the low-grade tier 2 martial technique, 10-directional lightning movement. The 7-star steps plus the 10-directional lightning movement. Isn't this simply bullying people? The low-grade tier 2 martial technique, 10-directional lightning movement, was the upgraded version of the thunderous fist that descended from the same origin. It had not been 1 or 2 days since Lin Tianqing cultivated the 10-directional lightning movement. He had long reached the small success stage. Wishing to pass through the illusionary spirit tower with the strength of a half-step spirit condensation realm, Lin Tianqing could only work on his martial techniques very clearly. A tier 1 martial technique like the thunderous fist was unable to achieve that effect from the start, unless it was some sick tier 1 martial technique like the stacking waves layered palm or the absolute yang finger. The threat to spirit condensation realms was virtually zero. It was just that Lin Tianqing's perception was lacking, and he was ultimately unable to comprehend the great success stage of the 10-directional lightning movement. Hence, he kept failing the Earth rank advancement test in the past. He used the strength of half-step spirit condensation realm to activate the 10-directional lightning movement, so the power was naturally greatly reduced. Presently, Lin Tianqing was already a genuine first-level spirit condensation realm, unleashing the 10-directional lightning movement could not be mentioned in the same breath. Yi Yuan laughed coldly. He had read countless people before and knew that a despicable person like Lin Tianqing would not keep his word, so he had long been ready. The stacking waves layered palm, 8-layer wave, versus the 10-directional lightning movement. One fist and one palm collided once more. Boom! This time around, the commotion was greater than any of the previous time. Huge explosive sounds occurred where the two people clashed. Lin Tianqing and Yi Yuan flew out once again. However, Lin Tianqing only retreated a few steps this time, while Yi Yuan lost his center of gravity and fell to the ground. Pooh! The moment he fell, Yi Yuan's innards quivered, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. This was the suppression of cultivation realm. Unleashing a tier 2 martial technique using spirit condensation realm had extraordinary power. Even if Yi Yuan had 16 times the unleashed power, he still received heavy injuries. If in the past, Lin Tianqing was only a little bit away from passing the Earth rank advancement test, then if he went to participate now, he would be able to advancement easily. The difference in between was not just an iota. No matter how strong Yi Yuan was, he was just a 6th level essence chi realm. The difference between the two people's realms was large to begin with. Now, they were even separated by a major realm. Yi Yuan only vomited a mouthful of blood after the two clashed. This was already damn sick. F***CK. I can't look on anymore, this is too shameless. Yeah. A Tier 2 movement technique coupled with an extremely high attack power Tier 2 lightning attribute martial technique Yi Yuan's is at such a disadvantage. If the stacking waves layered palm was complete, Yi Yuan might still have a chance to win. Such a pity a genius like Yi Yuan actually fell just like that. I'm dying over here. Is there any effect from the medicinal pill Yi Yuan ate? Quickly breakthrough. Yi Yuan's injury aroused the sympathy of many people. Lin Tianqing's actions just now had already made him completely inhuman. The strong would always be admired by others. Yi Yuan used his 6th level Essence Qi realm cultivation to fight a spirit condensation realm to such an extent one had to say, it was a miracle after all. Spirit condensation realm battling Essence Qi realm represented absolute suppression. Even if it was Long Tang, he could pass through the Earth rank. Advancement test back when he was at the 9th level Essence Qi realm, but now he was certainly not the current Lin Tianqing's match. Yet Yi Yuan had subverted this sort of absolute. He won everyone's admiration. Your sister, this Yi Yuan was really bluffing, gave me a scare. I thought the spirit essence pill that had already landed in my hand had up in the pavilion. Swabugaway was talking halfway when he suddenly stopped because Yi Yuan's aura was soaring non-stop currently. Although he coughed up blood, Yi Yuan's aura was steadily rising. With the 8-layer wave to neutralize the impact of the 10-directional lightning movement, Yi Yuan's injuries were actually not that serious under everyone's astonished eyes. Yi Yuan's cultivation realm swiftly broke through to the 7th level Essence Qi realm. Reaching the 7th level Essence Qi realm meant stepping into the final minor stage in the Essence Qi realm. Yi Yuan's strength would definitely have a huge spike. However, the astonishment that Yi Yuan brought to the crowd had not ceased after breaking through to the 7th level Essence Qi realm. Yi Yuan's aura did not weaken. He continued charging to the peak of the 7th level Essence Qi realm in one breath. Yi Yuan reached the peak of the 7th level Essence Qi realm, and then he easily crossed the threshold of the 8th level Essence Qi realm. Only then did Yi Yuan's aura gradually stabilize, stopping at the 8th level Essence Qi realm. Holy crap. What medicinal pill did Yi Yuan eat to actually directly break through 2 minor realms? What the F***CK? If one had this sort of medicinal pill, then wouldn't jumping ranks to battle be like playing? He looks like senior apprentice brother Lin put himself on the spot. Just now, Yi Yuan's cultivation realm was too low, so even if he used the 8-layer wave, he could not threaten him, but now, Yi Yuan's 8-layer wave will be terrifying. Yeah, if they clashed again, the victor would be hard to determine. A 5-element spirit link pill was a medicinal pill that belonged to the divine realm. Immortal country naturally had not heard of it before. This type of medicinal pill was indeed very powerful, but it was not without its drawbacks after the medicinal effects. The martial artist's body will collapse because it could not handle a strength that did not belong to their realm, and the medicinal effects of the 5-element spirit link pill could only be sustained for the period of time it takes to burn 1 stick of incense. Once an incense of time is up, Yi Yuan would no longer have any combat ability, and could only let people carve him up. Hence, Yi Yuan must finish this swiftly. Now 8th level Essence Qi realm. Now there's a good show to watch. How could there be such a medicinal pill? I've never heard of it before, it's too shameless. My spirit essence pill. My sharp-horned beast inner core. Swabugaway recovered from his shock and pounded his chest in anguish. Long Tang, on the other hand, was staring as clearly as if gazing at a blazing fire. He frowned and said, "This medicinal pill definitely has a time limit. If Yi Yuan can't finish off Lin Tianqing quickly, then he will really be dead." Swabugaway exclaimed in surprise. So that's the case. Like I said, if eating 1 medicinal pill could raise 2 minor realms, then what's the point of cultivating? But even if there's a time limit, this medicinal pill is also very terrifying. It's seriously a necessary medicinal pill for jumping ranks to battle. Long Tang said in agreement, "That's right, 8th level Essence Qi realm coupled with the 8-layer wave. Yi Yuan truly has the capital to battle with Lin Tianqing now. However, they're at best on par. None of them can do anything to the other. If Yi Yuan doesn't have any other hidden cards, chances of victory aren't great. Doesn't this mean that your spirit essence pill is going to enter my pockets again?" Swabugaway laughed loudly. Long Tang smiled and kept silent on the other side. Su family's uncle and nephew were repeatedly shocked by Yi Yuan's actions. These medicinal pills are definitely not refined by Yi Hang, otherwise Wan Donghai would have been chased out of the capital long ago. There's definitely an extremely powerful alchemist behind Yi Yuan. Su Yubai said gloomily. Su Yishan's face did not look good either if that's the case. Wouldn't we have to spare the rat to save the dishes? What if there is no what if? No matter how powerful that alchemist is, can he be stronger than the Tranquil Cloud sect? With our Su family's power in the Tranquil Cloud sect, who dares to provoke us? Su Yubai directly cut. Su Yishan's off-second uncle is wise. Since that alchemist let him enter the Danwu Academy, he would have nothing to say if Yi Yuan was sentenced to death after violating the Academy's rules. That's the idea. This world has always been run by strength as long as we are strong enough. Then killing him means he's dead. What can he do to us? An alchemist's strength isn't that great, so what can he do even if he's an alchemy king? Do you see it now? Yi Yuan wiped away the blood from the corner of his mouth and said with a cold smile. Lin Tianqing's face fell. But he remained stubborn as he said, "Humph, it's just a temporary increase in cultivation realm. Flashy, but without substance. What's the use? Whether it's flashy without substance or not, wouldn't you know after trying?" Yi Yuan hooked his finger at Lin Tianqing, contemptuously, putting aside the fact that you are a fake 8th level essence chi realm. What can you do even if you're a real 8th level essence chi realm? Lightning danced around Lin Tianqing's fist, and his 7-star steps activated once more. Yi Yuan gave a cold laugh and smacked out with an 8-layer wave again. The aura was much stronger than before. After crossing the 7th level essence chi realm, Yi Yuan's strength rose another minor stage, and the 8-layer wave's power became extraordinary. One fist and one palm met in an instant, but right then, an abnormality occurred just as the two of them were only a few steps away from each other. Yi Yuan suddenly changed his palm into a finger. An absolutely powerful force blasted out from the fingertip. Initially, Lin Tianqing was full of confidence, but now, his expression changed drastically as the scent of death pounced from straight ahead. He could feel the terror of the invisible force from Yi Yuan's fingertip. Even though the area was not large, that small radius of force was incomparably powerful. However, at this time, his speed had already reached the limits, and there was no leeway to maneuver. The distance of a few steps was too short. There was not even time to blink. Lin Tianqing wanted to evade this finger with all his might, but he could not do it with his body's reaction. Yi Yuan had long calculated the time accurately and did not give Lin Tianqing the time to switch moves. He aimed to kill, not to spar. How could he possibly give Lin Tianqing the chance to turn things around? Lin Tianqing's protective essence energy was punched through like paper. The invisible force penetrated Lin Tianqing's fist instantly. But the momentum did not lessen as it directly pierced through his heart. Lin Tianqing's body collapsed weakly on the ground. He was no longer breathing. Absolute Yang Finger. This was Yi Yuan's real killing move. During this period, apart from cultivation, Yi Yuan spent the majority of the time on the Absolute Yang Finger. Now, his Absolute Yang Finger was already cultivated to the great success stage. This technique, the Absolute Yang Finger, was a complementary martial technique of the Spirit Bristle 9. Yang Divine Art. It did not have a fixed grade. If one had to give it a grade, then it should belong to the boundary of Tier 1 martial techniques. It was just that regardless of cultivating difficulty or power, Tier 1 martial techniques could not be compared to it. The power of the Absolute Yang Finger trained to the great success stage was already not inferior to low-grade Tier 2 martial techniques. Only Yi Yuan could train it to the great success stage in such a short time. If it were somebody else, they might not even train it to such a stage. Even if they were given 10-20 years, one had to know that Yi Yuan only used 3 days to cultivate the stacking wave's layered palm. 8-layer wave. He really did it. 6th level Essence Chi realm actually killed a 1st level Spirit Condensation realm. What happened just now? The move that senior apprentice brother Lin was struck by didn't seem to be the 8-layer wave. Yi Yuan is seriously too scary. He can actually cross a major realm to do battle and even kill his opponent. These students' vision prowesses were insufficient and did not see Yi Yuan changing his final move clearly. However, the result was evident at a glance. Yi Yuan did something they found it hard to imagine. After killing Lin Tianqing, Yi Yuan was also exhausted. He could not even lift his finger throughout this entire battle. Yi Yuan held the lower hand. All along his body was already covered with injuries. He even gave it his all for the final blow, which aggravated his injuries. Hu Yuan let out a long breath, but right at this moment, Yi Yuan felt his scalp tingle, an aura powerful enough to suffocate people locked onto him. Insolent Yi Yuan, to dare kill your fellow student within the academy. As the disciplinary hall's first elder, I sentence you to death. A towering voice suddenly sounded out, which once again made everyone's nerves that had just loosened winded up tightly again. Translators thought Celophoda Usorigis Professor. TGIF. A mass release of 20 chapters. Chapter 66 to Chapter 85 for our supportive readers. Thank you guys for the support. So today we have 2 normal chapters and 20 mass release chapters, a total of 22 chapters today. A round of applause for our hardworking translator, Celophoda. Again, to all our readers, we love you. Do keep on supporting us all the way till the end of this novel. Thanks. If you love this novel, shower us with that 5-star review. If you like it, throw that 45-star review. We will take them all. If you feel indifferent or doesn't like this novel but still reading up to this chapter, give us a 4-star review at least. Tongue sticking out, admit it, you wouldn't be here if you're not enjoying it. It is a love-hate relationship. I know. Love, I have some in my list. I hate the story, but I still read it. If you hate this novel, we're sorry. It's the author. Points at the author. Please don't give us low rating. Star sad face. Tomorrow we're back to the normal schedule. Tongue sticking out, feeling sad? We are too. Luckily, it is the weekends. 2 chapters daily on Saturday and Sunday, GMT 8+. So what are you waiting for? Shower us with those 5-star reviews. I know everyone is enjoying the novel. We're on chapter 85, and everyone's still here, laughing face. Thanks for the support. This cry was too unexpected. Nobody managed to react in time. By the time everyone reacted to it, a shadow had already flashed past the crowd like lightning, arriving in front of Yi Yuan. Being locked on by this aura, Yi Yuan nearly passed out from suffocation. This aura was too strong. Ignoring the fact that Yi Yuan was currently completely drained like a lamp without oil, even if he were at his peak condition, it would be impossible to survive this blow. Yi Yuan also did not expect that someone would be so utterly shameless as to ambush him. Could it be that an alchemy emperor of his generation would die so miserably like this? In reality, Yi Yuan had already planned things through. Even if he killed someone, he would at least have to go through the higher echelons trial before he would be given the death penalty, and during all that was a period for him to turn things around, which force would not wish to pull him over just based on the alchemic and martial talent that he displayed. However, no matter how much Yi Yuan calculated, he did not expect that such a powerful opponent would be lying in ambush to launch a sneak attack on him right after he killed Lin Tianqing. Yi Yuan acknowledged that his greatest enemy in the academy was Wan Yuan. He had already broken through to the 6th level Essence Qi realm now, so even if he jumped out, he could easily crush him. What? Disciplinary Hall's first elder? Yi Yuan did not even know him. Who would have thought that he would harbor such a huge killing intent towards him, and directly attack to kill? Yi Yuan knew that he was no match for him and already closed his eyes to await death. Seeing Yi Yuan close his eyes and wait for death, a cruel smile involuntarily flashed across the corner of Su Yubai's mouth. The timing he chose was perfect. Right when everybody was stunned by Yi Yuan's strength, he already unleashed his attack right away, all so that other people would not have the chance to react. As the Disciplinary Hall's first elder, Su Yubai was already at half-step crystal formation realm. Was it not effortless to capture Yi Yuan, who was already like a lamp without oil? A lion will use all its might when hunting a rabbit. Su Yubai was very clear on this logic, so he used his full power for this blow. He was only a few steps away from Yi Yuan. Many people closed their eyes as if they did not wish to see Yi Yuan's blood splattering everywhere. After all, he was a rising genius. Everyone could already confirm that as long as Yi Yuan was given enough time, he would sooner or later surpass head senior apprentice brother Long Tang. Now, a genius like that was going to plummet so quickly. Su Yubai was extremely fast and arrived in front of Yi Yuan in a blink of an eye. But right then, another abnormality occurred. Yi Yuan suddenly felt a strong gale sweep past from behind. By the time he reacted, a shadow had already circled past him. Boom! A violent collision occurred that was many times greater than when Yi Yuan and Lin Tianqing fought. Yi Yuan was also baffled by this sudden change, but this was not the time for him to be dazed. He was closest to the two of them, so the impact he received was obviously the greatest. A massive blast swept over. Even though that figure helped him withstand the majority of the attack, the aftershock was still very powerful. No time to do anything else. Yi Yuan swiftly raised his protective shield. Pooh! Yi Yuan was sent flying by the shockwave and spat out another mouthful of blood in midair, the full power blow of a half-step crystal formation realm, even with most of the attack being neutralized, was sufficiently powerful to the current Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan fell heavily to the ground, and his internal organs shifted places, leaving him in agony. One that figure also fell back greatly, only stabilizing himself after backing up more than 20 steps. Grug. That figure also spat out a mouthful of blood. It was clear that he also suffered internal injuries, but Su Yubai remained still where he stood without moving. One could see just how great his strength was. But currently, Su Yubai was looking at that figure with a very solemn face. Xianxia, you actually dare to oppose your superior? Do you think that my disciplinary hall is just for decoration? Su Yubai questioned in a deep voice. Only now did Yi Yuan clearly see that figure. It was actually Teacher Huyen. But why did Teacher Huyen help him? Judging from this blow, Huyen's strength was likely a level lower than Su Yubai's. He undertook a huge risk for this blow. Yi Yuan could not help but become confused. However, he was more touched. Without Huyen throwing himself forward courageously, he would already be a corpse. Huyen spat out the remaining blood in his mouth, and he said, coldly, opposing my superior? Just who is the one going against his superior? Since when can the disciplinary hall execute students without going through the approval of the dean? As the disciplinary hall's first elder, you ambushed a 6th-level Essence Chi Realm student. Do you still want face? Humph! Yi Yuan violated the academy's rules and killed his fellow students whether the dean is here or not. He's dead. Also, I just learned that before Yi Yuan killed Lin Tianqing, he already killed the student manager in charge of the medicinal garden. Zhang Heng, such a vicious homicidal maniac, deserves to die. Su Yubai's face did not change as he responded coldly as expected. When Su Yubai's words came out, it caused a huge commotion. Killing Lin Tianqing alone was still not so bad, but killing 2 people consecutively in one day made some people unwittingly think that Yi Yuan was indeed a vicious homicidal maniac. No way did Yi Yuan's brain develop a problem after his sudden rise in strength, and he becomes a savage and cruel person? I heard that training demonic path cultivation laws allowed one's strength to suddenly soar, but the martial artist would lose his mind. Don't tell me that Yi Yuan really secretly trained in some demonic path cultivation laws. Very likely. He was still 1st-level Essence Chi Realm a month ago. 1 month passed, and he's already at the 6th-level Essence Chi Realm, and he can even kill a Spirit Condensation Realm. This goes against all logic. I heard that demonic path cultivation laws have incredible power, much stronger than the average martial artist. If that's really the case, then Yi Yuan really deserves to die. Su Yubai's words were very provocative initially. There were still many people sympathizing with Yi Yuan now. There were already quite a few who felt that Yi Yuan cultivated demonic path cultivation laws and deserved to die. Listening to the crowd debating, Su Yubai chuckled to himself. As long as he was standing on the side of justice, nobody could say anything even if he forcefully killed Yi Yuan today. Do you hear that? I currently suspect that Yi Yuan cultivated some demonic path cultivation laws, and I'm going to carry out the execution on the spot. Does anyone else have any objections? Su Yubai had an awe-inspiring, righteous appearance. Huyen gave a cold laugh and said, regardless of whether Yi Yuan trained in some demonic path cultivation law, it has to wait until the dean returns to decide. Are you trying to challenge the dean's authority by making a unilateral decision? Huyen was also not someone stupid. Pushing a large hat down gave Su Yubai a huge headache. Humph. Everyone has the right to punish those from the demonic and unorthodox path. Yi Yuan has already killed 2 fellow students. Is this not enough for the death penalty yet? Huyen, what intentions do you have for shielding someone from the demonic path? Su Yubai had the momentum and was unwilling to spare them. He continued to use words to exert pressure the way he spoke. Yi Yuan had already been determined to be someone from the demonic path. Huyen naturally would not fall for it. Someone from the demonic path? What right do you have to say that Yi Yuan is someone from the demonic path? You didn't ask why Yi Yuan killed people and indiscriminately pinned labels onto him. You, disciplinary hall's first elder, is truly so awe-inspiring. Humph, you're still stubborn. If he isn't someone from the demonic path, then how do you explain his sudden increase in strength? If he isn't someone from the demonic path, how do you explain his combat power, which stands head and shoulders above all others? Everyone has the right to punish those from the demonic path. Huyen, if you don't make way, I will take you down first, and then exterminate this scoundrel. Su Yubai shouted with an imposing aura. Translator's thought. Selaphoda_Selaphoda_Regis Professor. We just finished a mass release chapters event. The pill exam event was covered till the end. Feeling satisfied? We are now starting a new arc, but mass release chapters ended halfway during a battle? How do you feel? Evil smirk. Don't worry, it's just 1 to 2 chapters on this. Tongue sticking out, Then the MC will do something to deal with the incident, smiley face. It's not a cliffhanger. I think did I do this on purpose? But I did make sure the mass release finished the exam arc. Enjoy the chapter. And it is Saturday, so another chapter later this matter which was originally in the bag was spoiled by Huinyong. Su Yubai even had the heart to kill right now however. Huinyong was an instructor of the academy. If he really attacked, then he could forget about being the disciplina. Hall's first elder anymore. Furthermore, while it was true that Huinyong could not beat him, Su Yubai also could not stop him if he really wanted to run, but he was standing in front of Yi Yuan, making Su Yubai feel that this was a very thorny matter. He must definitely kill Yi Yuan today. This punk's rise was too rapid. This was absolutely a potential threat to the Su family if Yi Yuan was left unchecked to continue growing, most likely 10 years. No, just 5 years, and he would become another Yi Hang. Just one Yi Hang was enough to give the Su family a headache, and 2 Yi Hangs take me down? Fine. Bring it on. I want to see just how you will take me down. Huinyong taunted icily. Humph. You really think that I don't dare to touch you? Seeing Huinyong's manner like a dead pig which did not care whether the water was boiling, Su Yubai flew into a rage. Huinyong had always been Jiang Yunhe's hardcore follower, and was never on good terms with Su Yubai normally. The two of them were already at odds now. It goes even more without saying with Su Yubai's strength. It was impossible to capture the peak spirit condensation realm Huinyong unless he killed him. Huinyong was certain that Su Yubai dared not kill fellow students. What a joke. You're the disciplinary hall's first elder. You can touch whoever you want to. Why would you not dare to touch me? But if you want to kill Yi Yuan today, you will have to walk over my dead body. Facing the powerful Su Yubai, Huinyong did not yield in the slightest. Good. Everyone saw that Huinyong is shielding the demonic spawn, and so he's also my Dan Wu Academy's enemy. Today, I represent the Academy to exterminate fiends and protect the Tao. I'll exterminate these 2 traitors. Su Yubai's fury could be seen from how he said 3 good consecutively after he finished talking. Su Yubai's released his aura completely, crushing everyone until they could not breathe. Just as Su Yubai was about to strike, a beautiful silhouette walked out from the crowd and stood by Huinyong. If Elder Su is insistent on making a move, then treat Ruoqing as someone from the demonic path as well and kill me. Feng Ruoqing said these words nonchalantly, but the weight was sufficiently heavy. Other people might not know Feng Ruoqing's identity, but how could Su Yubai be unaware of Feng Ruoqing's identity? Even if Su Yubai had a higher status in the Danwu Academy, he would not dare to touch even a hair of Feng Ruoqing. The imperial family's Nanfeng clan had always been low-key, but families with deep backgrounds knew that the Nanfeng family clan was the #1 great family in the state of Qin and not one of the top. Everybody was astounded by Feng Ruoqing's appearance, including Su Yubai and Huinyong. Many of them could not help recalling some of the rumors which spread secretly now. It looks like it was not unfounded rumors. At this time, the looks which the students gave Yi Yuan became weird. So, what this Yi Yuan was capable of was neither in martial Dao nor alchemy Dao, but chasing girls. The Feng family aunt and niece had always been lofty goddesses in the academy. There had been many pursuers, but nobody had honestly ever expected to succeed in chasing them, but Yi Yuan did it. Standing out at this time to oppose the disciplinary hall's first elder, they would not believe that Feng Ruoqing and Yi Yuan had 0 relations even if they were beaten to death. Of course, even more people felt that their goddess was defiled, and they wished that they could go up there and give Yi Yuan 2 tight slaps to show their indignity. It was just that it would never be there. Turn to do the slapping. If they did it now, Feng Ruoqing turned around to look at Yi Yuan, who was lying on the ground. Unable to move, she quickly hurried over to help him up. Being in the embrace of a beauty was naturally something to be happy, to be delighted about, but Yi Yuan was currently half dead. How would he have these sort of beautiful thoughts? Except, sniffing the light fragrance coming off of Feng Ruoqing's body made Yi Yuan pull himself together. Feng Ruoqing, on the other hand, frowned and asked, "Are you okay?" Yi Yuan laughed bitterly and said weakly, "Do I look okay to you? Relax. I won't die, it's just that I can't move right now." Lure. Feng Ruoqing knitted her brows once more. "You're already like this? And you're still concerned about your little maidservant. How's she?" Yi Yuan brushed off Feng Ruoqing's rebuke and continued asking. Feng Ruoqing sighed with you, helping her suppress the cold chi. "She's fine for now. I knew that you were going to cause trouble, so I passed her to Jiro, and I came here alone." Hearing Feng Ruoqing said this, Yuan finally heaved a sigh of relief. Many thanks, I'll definitely thank you deeply in the future. Feng Ruoqing naturally would not take to heart other people's thanks, because she did not lack anything. But Yi Yuan was different. Just the fact that he could refine transcendent grade tier 2 medicinal pills at the 4th level essence chi realm made his thanks priceless. I told you not to mess about, and you just wouldn't listen. 10 years isn't late for a gentleman to take his revenge. What's the rush? Now, you nearly threw away your life. Are you satisfied? Feng Ruoqing did not mention about the thanks but grumbled instead, however. These words did not sound like grumbling, but more like a little wifey's concern. Ha ha ha. 10 years isn't late? I can't wait even for a second. If I have to wait 10 years for a minor character like him, then what should I do about other people? Yi Yuan seemed like he was triggered by something to have said this. Feng Ruoqing could not understand the meaning behind Yi Yuan's words, but at this moment, Yi Yuan's eyes were very complex. It was like an old man who had experienced many vicissitudes of life and not a 15-year-old youth. What on earth did he go through? How could he have such desolate and dismal eyes? Feng Ruoqing started to wonder about it involuntarily, but Yi Yuan recovered first and said, I have recovery medicinal pills on me. I can't move right now. Could you help me take them? No. Feng Ruoqing instinctively wanted to reject, but thinking about Yi Yuan's current condition, she hesitated. Since when had Feng Ruoqing with her priceless body ever touched a man's body? Even if there was clothing in between, no way. Sigh, forget it, I'll do it myself. SSS. As he was talking, Yi Yuan reached out to touch his chest and hissed in pain. The moment he made contact, Feng Ruoqing hurriedly said, all right, I'll do it. Then, under the dumbfounded gazes of everyone, Feng Ruoqing's beautiful and slender hands slipped inside Yi Yuan's clothes. My goddess. Why? Do you want people dead? Don't. Teacher Feng. Quickly let go of that guy. Let me do it. Everybody was screaming in their hearts, but it was all to no avail. Feng Ruoqing rummaged around for a while before fishing out a bottle of medicinal pills. Her face was currently a bright beet red, like she was intoxicated on alcohol. Is it this? Feng Ruoqing asked with a red face. That's it. There are still 5 medicinal pills in the bottle. Take the pale yellow one and pass it to me, Yi Yuan instructed. There was only one pale yellow medicinal pill inside. After Feng Ruoqing poured all the pills out, then she took the pill and fed it to Yi Yuan. After consuming the medicinal pill, Yi Yuan's face, which was pale like paper, gradually became rosier. All right, help me up. I want to refine the medicinal effects. You can already move so quickly. Even though Feng Ruoqing knew that Yi Yuan could not be judged by common sense, she was still very shocked. She had never seen before a medicinal pill that had such immediate effects. Yi Yuan nodded his head laboriously and started to refine the medicinal effects. Translator's thought. Celophoda Sorgius Professor. This week I picked up Emperor's Gigolo and Gate of God, caught up to the recent translated chapters. Emperor's Gigolo is quite refreshing. It's like I have a mansion in the post-apocalyptic world, but Xuanhuan version. There was one chapter where the MC was telling stories like Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Investiture of the Gods. He purposely said something along the line, wait for next time to know the ending. And then he thought to himself, wow, this is like authors who purposely ended chapters with cliffhangers every day. I really LMAO there about Gate of Gods. It's alright, I am following it. It's like UMG. Nothing to shout, but enjoyable. We all are that basic. Craving for the cliché and predictable plots. I hope my translator isn't seeing this. Tongue sticking out, however. I was a bit annoyed when the MC mentioned about how he was visited by a princess's subordinate, several times asking him to come over to her birthday party, and he likens the incident like visiting Zhu Guliang. Chapter 161. Yes, Zhu Guliang, it's a blasphemy. Crying face. Regardless, I'm still following the novel daily now. I wonder what else I should start reading. I wish Legend of the Great Saint is being translated. My translator wants that novel, but the author is a bit on and off with his release. He said this is a really good novel. Only after seeing Yi Yuan's injuries swiftly recovering did Feng Ruoqing felt at ease. She stood up and said to Su Yubai, Elder Su, the disciplinary hall places the greatest emphasis on the word justice, but actions today have failed justice and failed the hearts of the public. Su Yubai was originally very displeased seeing Feng Ruoqing talking intimately with Yi Yuan like nobody else was around, but he was highly fearful of Feng Ruoqing's identity, which was why he did not make a move now that Feng Ruoqing was rebuking him publicly. Su Yubai naturally could not pretend to be mute anymore. Snort. This old man is exterminating fiends and protecting the Tao. How did I fail justice? Teacher Feng is only momentarily hoodwinked by this fiend. That's why you are openly defending him. Why haven't you retreated yet? Otherwise, don't blame me if I accidentally injure Teacher Feng later. Su Yubai snarled. It was also because Su Yubai was filled with trepidation about Feng Ruoqing's status that his words were filled with caution. If somebody else were to do what Feng Ruoqing did just now, he would have definitely turned violent already. However, Feng Ruoqing had no scruples about this. I know all about the sequence of events for this matter. Although Yi Yuan's way of doing things wasn't appropriate, there was indeed a reason for this whole thing. Does Elder Su have selfish motives for wanting to indiscriminately finish him off ruthlessly? Feng Ruoqing's words stirred up everyone's appetites. It had already been many years since anyone dared to kill people publicly in the academy. Just what in the world did Lin Tiancheng and Zhang Heng do to have forced Yi Yuan to this step? What a joke. Yi Yuan violated the academy's rules and killed 2 people consecutively. This old man suspects that he's someone from the demonic path and moved to strike him down. What selfish motives are there? Su Yubai naturally had selfish motives. But he was being persistent, however. Feng Ruoqing continued nonchalantly without changing her expression. Some things become meaningless when it's exposed in front of so many people. When Feng Ruoqing's words came out, Su Yubai was startled. He had always believed that Feng Ruoqing was an alchemy idiot and did not care about other things. Who would have thought that her heart was as clear as a bright mirror? This lass was so astute to actually see through his thoughts. On the surface, the fragrant medicine pavilion and drunken star manor were irreconcilable, but in reality, it was still the Su family who was exchanging blows with the Yi family. In the dark, Yi Yuan's rise made Su Yubai sense an enormous threat. That was why he directly struck to kill. These things did not seem strange to people involved in the affairs, but it was very hard to connect these things together for people outside the state of affairs. Could it be that the Nanfeng family had long taken precautions against the Su family? This was no auspicious omen. No matter what reason he has, rules are rules. How can violations be tolerated? Su Yubai did not wish to hear any reason whatsoever. According to the rules, Yi Yuan should have been taken into custody temporarily after killing people and left to the Dean and the Elders' Council to make the final decision. Isn't Elder Su breaking the rules by directly killing people? I wonder what's the punishment for this in accordance with the Academy's rules? Feng Ruoqing did not give in the slightest. The Danwu Academy's rules were not directed at students, only the Dean and Elders similarly faced many restrictions. Killing people without authorization as the disciplinary hall's first elder, according to the Academy's rules, was the stripping of the first elder's position. Of course, the Dean was the paramount existence in the Danwu Academy. Su Yubai was exasperated. This little lass kept opposing him in every way, and now, he was actually reverse. Checkmated. Looks like it was impossible to kill Yi Yuan now, but his thoughts swirled, and he came up with another plan. Humph. Since you say that I'm not acting in accordance with the rules, fine. I'll do things based on the rules right now. Men, escort Yi Yuan to the assembly hall behind the mountain. Inform the 2 deputy deans and all the elders to come to the assembly hall for a joint hearing. Su Yubai suddenly changed his tune out of the blue. Feng Ruoqing frowned and thought to herself that this Su Yubai was really hard to deal with. It looks like he was determined to sentence Yi Yuan to death today. She could not reject Su Yubai's request, otherwise it would really become defending a demonic spawn. According to the Academy's rules, the Elders' Council could jointly decide significant matters when the Dean was not around. But in reality, even if Zhang Yunhe was in the Academy, the Elders' Council was the one deciding on the Academy's matters. Most of the time Zhang Yunhe rarely showed his face in front of everyone under Su Yubai's orders. 2 disciplinary hall students wanted to take Yi Yuan into custody and headed for the assembly hall behind the mountain. Yi Yuan's eyes suddenly snapped open, and he said coldly, I have my own legs to walk with. Get lost. The 2 disciplinary hall students' strength was beneath even Lin Tiancheng's, even though they knew that he was already in arrow at the end of its flight. Seeing Yi Yuan's outburst still stopped them in their track in fear. After he said that, Yi Yuan got up. There was no problem with his mobility already. This scene left everyone dumbfounded once again. What kind of recovery medicine could have such immediate effects? Yi Yuan was seriously too lucky to take these unheard of pills and eating them like candy. He was merely like a cockroach that would not die. Of course, they were unaware that Yi Yuan was once an alchemy emperor. If an alchemy emperor could not eat transcendent-grade pills like candy, then Yi Yuan, this alchemy emperor, would really be unworthy of the name insolence. You're a sinner right now. Who permitted you to walk on your own? When Su Yubai saw that Yi Yuan still dared to be so arrogant, he flew into a rage. Yi Yuan glanced at Su Yubai coldly. I'll remember this. You old fart. Yi Yuan will repay today's grudge 100-fold in the future. I will definitely take your head within a year. When these words came out, the crowd was stunned. A year? Take the head of a half-step crystal formation realm powerhouse. This was a complete fantasy. This Yi Yuan has such killing intent. He hasn't really cultivated some demonic path cultivation laws. Right? Bullshit. Didn't you hear, Teacher Feng? There's definitely more than meets the eye about this. Change the scenario. If somebody nearly slapped you to death with one palm, would your killing intent be huge or not? That's true, but I wouldn't dare to spew this sort of nonsense taking Elder Su's head within a year. How's that possible? Yeah, Essence Chi realm is easy to pass, but Spirit Condensation realm is hard to advance to. You have to expend 10 times the effort each time you advance one minor realm in the Spirit Condensation realm when compared to the Essence Chi realm. Even then, you still have to rely on lucky chances to break through. It has already been 2 years since Senior Apprentice Brother Long stepped into the Spirit Condensation realm, right? He's still stuck at the 3rd level Spirit Condensation realm till today. Yi Yuan might be a genius, but I don't believe that he will have the strength to kill Elder Su within a year even if you beat me to death. After all, he's only at the 6th level Essence Chi realm. Although I don't believe it either. Then again, it seems like Yi Yuan only spent a month to go from the 1st level Essence Chi realm to the 6th level Essence Chi realm. That everyone naturally treated Yi Yuan's proud words like a joke. Advancing realms in the Spirit Condensation realm was too difficult. The amount of essence energy required to advance a minor realm was extremely horrifying. No matter how much of a genius Yi Yuan was, it was impossible to break through to the peak Spirit Condensation realm within a year. Furthermore, it would become even more challenging to jump ranks to battle in the Spirit Condensation realm. Even if Yi Yuan was genius, he had to be at least at the 9th level Spirit Condensation realm to defeat Su Yubai, right? Did he not see the peak Spirit Condensation realm Huyen Yong vomiting blood after one palm by Su Yubai? In other words, the Spirit Condensation realm and the Essence Chi realm were 2 entirely different levels. Even Su Yubai was stunned, and he immediately erupted. What he was incensed by was not that Yi Yuan said he would take his head, but because he was scolded. Old fart Su Yubai had exceedingly high status in the academy and had real power. Who would be disrespectful when meeting him? Since when had he been pointed in the nose and scolded? Old fart. Bastard! You dare to scold me? In his rage, Su Yubai wanted to attack, but right at this moment, Yi Yuan did something which made everybody's eyes fall out with a dive. He fled behind Feng Ruoqing and cried out, seemingly innocent, "Teacher Feng, this old fart wants to hit me." 1 moment ago, Yi Yuan was still exuding awe-inspiring righteous pride and crowed about taking people's head, yet right now, he was hiding behind a woman simply shameless to the extreme. But this move was really useful. No matter how insanely Su Yubai's flames of wrath burned, he did not dare to attack Feng Ruoqing. Yi Yuan had long seen through this point. This also made him curious about Feng Ruoqing's identity. She was definitely not as simple as an ordinary instructor. However, Yi Yuan scoured his memories, and he could not think of any great family in the state of Qin with the Feng surname. Teacher Feng, I want to go to the assembly hall on my own. Is there any problem? Yi Yuan said with a straight face. Feng Ruoqing sighed and nodded lightly. Even though Feng Ruoqing was elegantly beautiful, she was born with the arrogance of the imperial family in her bones. She did not know why, but she just could not refuse this young man in front of her. Having received repeated blows, Su Yubai no longer wished to lose face in front of everyone. He snorted coldly and turned around and left. He believed that they would not dare to not go to the assembly hall. After Su Yubai left, Yi Yuan gave Huyen Yong a deep bow. Many thanks to Teacher Huyen's life-saving grace. Huyen Yong waved his hands dismissively and said casually, "No need to thank me if you want to thank someone. Then thank the dean." Before the dean left, he specifically instructed me to not let anything happen to you and to take good care of you. Yi Yuan was dazed and completely baffled by this dean whom he had never met before. Actually, strictly speaking, you saved yourself. Feng Ruoqing suddenly opened her mouth. Oh? How so? I told the dean all about your performance during the alchemist test. The appreciation of a genius arose in the dean's heart, and that's why he arranged for Teacher Huyen to come to protect you. Feng Ruoqing explained. Only now did Yi Yuan came to a realization, but he begged to differ from what Feng Ruoqing said. Saving means saving. This favor that Yi Yuan owed was too great. Yi Yuan was not an ingrate. This favor naturally had to be returned. Teacher Huyen, after Yi Yuan breaks through to the Spirit Condensation realm, today's grace will definitely be returned. Yi Yuan gave Huyen Yong a promise that sounded like in the indefinite future, but Huyen Yong could naturally sense the sincerity in it. It was just that he was still unaware of how heavy this promise of Yi Yuan's was. Jiang Yunhe only instructed him to protect Yi Yuan well. Before leaving, he did not know for what reason and thought that Jiang Yunhe had a change of heart. It's not necessary. I'm not doing this for any repayment. Today's round isn't considered over yet. It looks like Su Yubai still wants you dead. Huyan Yong thought that Yi Yuan was only expressing words of gratitude, and he did not take it to heart. Feng Ruoqing faintly guessed something. But her eyes lit up unwittingly, but she did not expose it. She began to unwittingly look forward to just what level Yi Yuan's alchemy skills would reach after breaking through to the spirit condensation realm. Yi Yuan, I saw how Su Yubai looked like just now. He's confident in settling this matter in stone. At the Elders' Council, you had best be cautious once. The Elders' Council sentences you to immediate execution. We can't go against it either. Feng Ruoqing frowned and said, the Elders' Council is that powerful? Didn't you say that there was an exception, Teacher Feng? How did that person escape with his life? You are talking about Mo Yuntian, right? Although he escaped punishment, it was likewise almost certain death. Huyan Yong interrupted. Oh, can Teacher Huyan enlighten me? However, Huyan Yong shook his head and said, you can't follow Mo Yuntian's path. Give up. Right now, the only method is to delay time at the Elders' Council and wait for the Dean to return. The more Huyan Yong would not say, the more curious Yi Yuan got. Since Huyan Yong would not say, he might as well ask Feng Ruoqing was there something behind it. Feng Ruoqing hesitated for a second, but she still answered back then. Mo Yuntian was number 1 on the Academy's Martial Roll of Honor, 4th level Spirit Condensation Realm. When he was admitted, his close friend was unable to keep up with his footsteps at that time. He was only a black rank student, but then, a student manager from the General Affairs Department was unaware of their relationship, and he caused endless troubles for Mo Yuntian's close friend. Finally, the guy turned him into a cripple in his rage. Mo Yuntian murdered that student manager. Hearing that, Yi Yuan snickered coldly. Looks like the General Affairs Department is truly a place where talents gather and their virtue was inherited. Feng Ruoqing sighed as she continued explaining, there are too many people in the Dan Wu Academy. Using students as managers are also something that cannot be helped. Not only do instructors have to teach classes, but we also have to cultivate. If we are bothered by too many miscellaneous stuff, our cultivation would have been bound to be delayed. Hence, the General Affairs had always been a place where the authority was the greatest. Therefore, it was also natural to breed these conceited students. Yi Yuan nodded to show his understanding. Instructors were also martial artists, and they pursued the martial path. They were obviously unwilling to be distracted by these mundane matters. By letting those students with insufficient talent manage the rest, could the true geniuses have the time to cultivate? This was an acceptable method. Then what happened? Then Mo Yuntian did not wait for the academy to deal with him alone. He walked to the 9 Heavens peak at the back of the mountain and stepped onto the 9 Heavens road, which is almost a certain death, but he passed through it. However, the 9 Heavens road is absolutely not something that the current you can charge through. Huyan Yong followed up, that's to say, the Elders' Council can't do anything to me once I pass through this 9 Heavens road? Yi Yuan ignored Huyan Yong's words and replied with a question. Theoretically, yes, but you have to know that when Mo Yuntian made it past the 9 Heavens road, he was already at the 4th level Spirit Condensation Realm. Since the establishment of the Dan Wu Academy, there has been a total of 237 people who attempted the 9 Heavens road. Among them were 194 Spirit Condensation Realm students and 43 Essence Chi Realm students, but only a measly 5 people made it through in these 10 years. Only Mo Yuntian alone made it. Students who failed to make it either died directly on the 9 Heavens road or lost their minds and became a complete lunatic ever since. But most importantly, none of the 43 Essence Chi Realm students survived. Huyan Yong seemed to have also become jumpy. Talking about the 9 Heavens road, just what is on the 9 Heavens road? Huyan Yong's words seemed to have not changed Yi Yuan's mind. Nobody knows what's on the 9 Heavens roads. It's because before entering the 9 Heavens road, students must swear a heavenly Tao oath to never reveal any information encountered on the 9 Heavens road. Huyan Yong explained. Like that, huh? Fascinating. Teacher Huyan, just now that old fart is surnamed Su. Is he someone from the Su family? Yi Yuan suddenly inquired. That's right, Su Yubai is the second brother of the Su family's family leader, Su Yulin. So that's the case. No wonder he had such thick killing intent towards me. Since that's the case, then I will go and try out this 9 Heavens road. Huyan Yong was stunned by Yi Yuan's words. Was the long time he spent talking wasted? Seeing Huyan Yong's expression, Yi Yuan smiled and said, just think about it, Teacher Huyan. Su Yubai wants me dead. He definitely has a way of making the Elders' Council impose the death penalty on me. Since that's the case, why should I seek my death? I know that Teacher Huyan wishes to drag things out until the Dean is back, but will Su Yubai grant you your wish? Hearing Yi Yuan's analysis, Huinyang's expression turned stiff these few years. The dean stood aloof above worldly considerations and did not manage most of the academy's matters. Letting Su Yubai fill in the void the Elders' Council was almost mostly his people already, just as Yi Yuan said. Going to the Elders' Council now was no different from going to be killed, so the 9 heavens road is my only way out. Behind the mountain, at the assembly hall, 6 elders were present aside from Su Yubai, 2 deputy deans and 3 more elders. These 6 people plus the dean constituted the highest authority in the Dan Wu Academy, of course. The dean's authority was paramount. He could veto everything in the academy with one word because He represented the Tranquil Cloud sect. Deputy deans and elders. An Earth-rank student was utterly lawless in the academy and brutally murdered 2 fellow students in broad daylight today. I've invited everyone to hold this meeting so that we can discuss how we should deal with this student. Su Yubai was the one who called for everyone. So he obviously had to stir things up. An Earth-rank student dares to be so audacious. What's there to discuss? Just kill him right away. A deputy dean exploded after hearing that. That's right, according to the academy's rules. Killing fellow student is the death penalty. What's the need for this meeting? Another elder echoed in approval. Elder Su. I wonder who is the student? At this moment, the other deputy dean opened his mouth to ask. Su Yubai gave him a displeased look. This fellow always does not cooperate. Seriously irritating. There were 2 deputy deans in the Dan Wu Academy, 1 martial and 1 alchemy. The deputy dean who agreed just now was called Zhang Songtao. The deputy dean who specialized in the martial Dao. The one who asked the question was the alchemy Dao's deputy dean. Hu Changsheng was Zhang Yunhe's die-hard follower and also somebody who did not like power struggles. He was someone who pursued the alchemy Dao with all his heart. Hence, he basically had no presence all these years, even in the Elders' Council. He virtually abandoned his voting rights. He was not deliberately finding fault today. He just instinctively wanted to find out more. After all, students were the precious resources of the Dan Wu Academy. If they mistakenly killed a genius figure, then the loss outweighed the gain. Although killing fellow students was essentially the death penalty, he still wanted to figure out what was going on. Who knew if the state of Qin's Dan Wu Academy would have a second Mo Yuntian appear? This student's name is Yi Yuan, a complete lunatic. He already had a bad track record before entering the academy some days back. Who knows what lucky encounter he had to have his strength suddenly soar. What's unexpected was that he brutally murdered 2 fellow students consecutively today. I suspect that he might have gotten some demonic path cultivation law. That's why he lost his mind and did such a cold-blooded thing. Su Yubai avoided the crucial points and dwelled on the trivial, describing Yi Yuan as a homicidal maniac. The majority of the elders already stood on his side. Now, there was even less to talk about. Since that's the case, then there's no need to discuss after he arrives at the assembly hall. Just directly sentence him to death, Zhang Songtao said nonchalantly as a deputy dean. His words held a certain weight these few years. Su Yubai gifted him countless treasures in secret to pull him over. The 2 are already of the same ilk as for the other elders. They did not hold as much authority as Su Yubai, nor were they as strong as him. Under his coercion and persuasion, they naturally became his vassals. Seconded such a ruthless lunatic. What's the point of keeping him if we don't kill him? An elder said. He agree as well. Seeing everyone agreed in unanimity to kill Yi Yuan. Whether Hu Changxing casts his vote or not obviously did not matter, so he might as well stay mum. Su Yubai was secretly pleased when he saw the situation. Yi Yuan, that punk, was simply lawless. Not only did he dare to kill fellow students, he even had the nerve to scold him an old fart. Even without the grudge between the Su and Yi family, he would also sentence him to death today. As for the cause, Su Yubai was actually aware of it already. It was indeed Lin Tiancheng who provoked matters first and forced Yi Yuan's maidservant until she was seriously injured and on the verge of death. But so what? Yi Yuan was seeking death, so others could not be blamed just like that. The few people chorused in unison and determined the life and death of an Earth-rank student without even asking for the reason, except they waited a long time. Yet Yi Yuan did not arrive. Rather, it was Feng Ruoqing and Huinyong who came. What are you 2 doing? Where's Yi Yuan? Don't tell me you 2 helped him to abscond punishment? Feng Ruoqing and Huinyong did not even get to speak, and Su Yubai already judged them. Huinyong looked at Su Yubai and smiled coldly as he said, if he tried to escape punishment, wouldn't that fulfill your wish? Relax, Yi Yuan isn't that stupid. Initially, Huinyong was still oblivious to the state of affairs. Only after Feng Ruoqing pointed things out did he become enlightened on the situation in reality. He also considered helping Yi Yuan to escape and return to the academy after the dean returns, but was rejected by Yi Yuan if Yi Yuan ran away. The Su family could seize this opportunity to apply pressure and ally with the Wan family to deal with the Yi family. Yi Hang was currently in a seclusion and could not be disturbed. Yi Yuan wanted to take on this matter all by himself. Huyan Yong was wholeheartedly devoted to martial arts and could not wrap his mind around these schemes. However, Feng Ruoqing was born in the imperial family and was inherently sensitive to these things. Since he didn't run, why didn't he come? Don't tell me he still needs this elder to go invite him? Su Yubai asked in a deep voice. Snort. Why should he come here? You probably already embellished the details and fooled the 2 deputy deans as well as the elders, and you sentenced Yi Yuan to death already, am I right? Don't tell me he should come here and die? Huyan Yong scoffed insolence. You dare to question the Elders' Council's authority? Do you not want to be an instructor anymore? Su Yubai flew into a rage. Is it the Elders' Council's authority or your authority? Don't try to confound people's eyes. Huyan Yong did not give in at all and was diametrically opposed to Su Yubai. All right, you two, stop arguing. The main character isn't here. What's the use of quarreling? Huyan, you said that Elder Su embellished the details. Could it be that Yi Yuan did not kill anyone? Hu Chongxing interjected right then. Huyan Yong still had a good favorable impression towards Hu Chongxing, so he naturally would not rebut him. Huyan Yong respectfully saluted with his hands and said, It's true that Yi Yuan killed someone, but there's a reason for it, not because of what demonic path fiend that Su Yubai said. Huyan Yong recounted how Luer was nearly raped and about to die, which infuriated Yi Yuan, making Hu Chongxing knitted his brows after hearing it. Was not this incident a similar occurrence of Mo Yuntian's episode back then? Hu Chongxing turned to Su Yubai and said, Elder Su, looks like this General Affairs Department really needs to be properly reorganized. Su Yubai's position was inferior to Hu Chongxing, so he naturally did not dare refute. He replied, Dean Hu is right. Even if Dean Hu did not say anything, I will also clean up the General Affairs Department after this case, but the pressing matter at the moment is still to deal with Yi Yuan's case regardless of what reason he had. Killing 2 people successively is challenging the Academy's rules. This must not become a precedent. Even if he had a reason for doing things, the speed of his improvement subverts common sense. It's very likely that he's cultivating a demonic path skill. How can we spare such a person like him? That's right. The Dan Wu Academy forbids killing fellow students. The killers were already sentenced to death. Don't tell me we should make an exception for Yi Yuan? What capabilities does he have? My view is still to kill him. Zhang Songtao Sadie agree with Dean Zhang's opinion. This must not be encouraged. I agree as well. Seeing the situation, Feng Ruoqing came forward and bowed towards a few people, and then she said, Ruoqing is here not to intercede for Yi Yuan, but to inform the 2 deputy deans and the elders that Yi Yuan is preparing to challenge the 9 Heavens Road 3 days later, so he will not be attending this meeting. What? He wants to challenge the 9 Heavens Road? 6th level Essence Chi Realm taking on the 9 Heavens Road? Ha ha ha. Did he think that he could escape the death penalty by doing that? Since he's looking to die, then I will watch just how he dies on the 9 Heavens Road. Su Yubai burst into laughter.